Marine Captain Jung-seok is an experienced soldier who finds himself in a nightmarish situation when a zombie outbreak devastates South Korea. The situation rapidly spirals out of control, and Jung-seok is left with the heart-wrenching responsibility of ensuring the survival of his immediate family. As he speeds through the chaos, driving a car with his elder sister, her husband Chul-min, and their young son Dong-hwan, they encounter a desperate family stranded on the roadside, pleading for help. The family's cries are gut-wrenching. But Jung-seok is faced with an impossible decision. Knowing that every second counts and that any delay could mean the difference between life and death for his own family, he makes the agonizing choice to drive past them, focusing on getting his loved ones to safety. Their destination is a ship that is evacuating civilians from South Korea. The journey to the ship is fraught with peril, as the infection has spread faster than anyone could have anticipated. Streets that were once bustling with life are now filled with terror, with the undead lurking around every corner. Jung-seok's driving is precise and frantic. When they finally reach the ship, there's a brief moment of relief as they board, thinking they might have escaped the horrors that have taken over their homeland. However, this sense of safety is short-lived. Once aboard the ship, the tension is palpable. People are crammed together, anxious and fearful, unsure if they have truly escaped the nightmare. It is here that Jung-seok learns that the ship is not heading to any neighboring countries for immediate refuge, but rather to Hong Kong. The idea of leaving behind everything they know is difficult to process, but there is no time to dwell on the decision as the situation on the ship deteriorates rapidly. The zombie outbreak, which they had hoped to leave behind, has somehow made its way onto the vessel. Panic erupts as the infection spreads among the passengers like wildfire. The confined space of the ship turns into a death trap as people, unable to escape, are turned into mindless, flesh-eating monsters. Jung-seok's worst fears are realized when he sees his sister and nephew fall victim to the outbreak. His heart breaks as he watches them succumb to the virus, their bodies twisted and transformed into something unrecognizable. There is nothing he can do to save them, and the horror of losing them in such a gruesome manner haunts him. The ship, once a symbol of hope, has become a floating graveyard. Jung-seok and Chul-min, barely managing to escape the carnage, are the only ones from their family to survive. The guilt of leaving the family on the road and the trauma of witnessing the deaths of their loved ones weigh heavily on Jung-seok as they reach Hong Kong. Now in Hong Kong, Jung-seok and Chul-min are thrust into a harsh new reality. The world has been irrevocably changed, and the survivors must adapt to the new order. For years pass, and the once vibrant and bustling city of Hong Kong is now a shadow of its former self. The zombie apocalypse has left the world in ruins, and the surviving humans are living in the margins, struggling to find food, shelter, and a sense of normalcy. Jung-seok and Chul-min have managed to survive, but they are far from thriving. An opportunity arises that promises a chance to escape their dire circumstances. Jung-seok and Chul-min are approached by a group offering them a dangerous, but potentially lucrative mission. They are to return to the Korean Peninsula, now a desolate wasteland overrun by zombies, to retrieve a truck loaded with cash. The mission is straightforward but fraught with risk. If they succeed in bringing back the truck, they are promised half of the money as their reward. For men who have lost everything, the promise of a fortune is tempting, but Jung-seok is initially reluctant. He knows the dangers that await them on the peninsula and is wary of returning to the place that holds so many painful memories. However, he can see how much this opportunity means to Chul-min, who is eager to go. He agrees to join the mission, hoping that the potential reward might finally bring them some peace and closure. The group of 4 Koreans, including Jung-seok and Chul-min, are flown back to the Korean Peninsula under the cover of night. The once familiar landscape is now unrecognizable, a haunting reminder of the world they left behind. The peninsula is a dangerous place, filled with both zombies and desperate survivors who will do anything to stay alive. The group's objective is clear: find the truck, secure the cash, and make it back to the extraction point alive. They navigate through the eerie, desolate streets, constantly on edge, knowing that danger could be lurking around any corner. After a tense search, they finally locate the truck. It's a moment of triumph, but their relief is short-lived as the noise of the truck's engine draws the attention of the zombies. The undead are relentless, and a harrowing chase ensues as the group races to escape with the truck. Despite the chaos, they manage to fend off the zombies and drive away with the truck, seemingly unharmed. The success of their mission feels within reach, but the peninsula has more dangers than just the undead. As they drive towards the port where they are supposed to be extracted, they are ambushed by a rogue militia known as Unit 631. This group is led by the ruthless Sergeant First Class Wong, a man who has taken advantage of the lawless environment to establish his own reign of terror. The ambush is sudden and brutal, leaving the group at the mercy of the militia. Jung-seok is violently thrown out of the truck during the attack, leaving him vulnerable and separated from his team. Chul-min, in a desperate attempt to survive, hides inside the truck. The other members of their team are not as fortunate. One is killed instantly, and the female member meets a grisly fate as she is torn apart by the zombies. Now alone and without the truck, Jung-seok finds himself in a desperate situation. He is pursued by the relentless zombies and is cornered with no way out. Just when it seems that all hope is lost, he is saved by two young sisters, June and Eugene. These two girls, despite their young age, have adapted to the harsh realities of the post-apocalyptic world, displaying resourcefulness and bravery beyond their years. They manage to lead Jung-seok to safety after a thrilling car chase that leaves the zombies in the dust. The sisters take him to their hideout, a small sanctuary they share with their grandfather, Elder Kim, and their mother. Jung-seok is finally given a moment to catch his breath and take stock of his situation. It is here that he meets Min-young, the mother of the two girls who saved his life. The encounter is charged with emotion as Jung-seok instantly recognizes Min-young as the woman he drove past on the road 4 years earlier, during his frantic escape with his family. The memory of that moment comes rushing back to him, filling him with guilt and regret. The fact that she and her daughters have managed to survive all these years is a testament to their resilience, but it also serves as a stark reminder of the choices he made and the lives he could not save. Meanwhile, back at Unit 631's compound, the truck has been seized by Sergeant Hwang and his men. The militia, having established a brutal regime, use fear and violence to maintain control. Chul-min, who had been hiding inside the truck, is discovered by the militia. Despite his pleas for mercy, he is captured and forced to participate in the militia's twisted form of entertainment, a gladiator-style game where prisoners are pitted against zombies in a fight to the death. The militia watches these games with sadistic pleasure, taking bets on who will survive. Chul-min is thrust into this horrifying arena, where he must fight for his life against the undead, knowing that the odds are heavily stacked against him. At the same time, within the ranks of Unit 631, a conspiracy is brewing. Private Kim and Captain Seo, two of Hwang's men, discover the bags of cash hidden inside the truck. Realizing the potential for a life-changing fortune, they secretly plot to steal the money and escape, abandoning Hwang and the rest of the militia. Their plan is to slip away quietly with the truck and its valuable cargo, leaving the peninsula and its horrors behind forever. However, this plan is fraught with danger, as they know that any misstep could lead to their deaths at the hands of either the militia or the zombies. Back at the hideout, Min-young learns of a ship docked at the Incheon port, ready to extract survivors. This ship represents the last chance for her and her family to escape the peninsula and the endless dangers it holds. She quickly devises a plan to steal the truck back from Unit 631, intending to use it to reach the port and secure a way off the peninsula for herself, her daughters, Elder Kim, and Jung-seok. The mission is perilous, but Min-young is determined to do whatever it takes to protect her family and secure their future. With this plan in place, Jung-seok and Min-young set out to infiltrate Unit 631's compound. The compound is heavily guarded, and the risk is immense, but they move forward with steely determination. As they sneak inside, the sisters and Elder Kim wait in the car, ready to make a quick getaway once the truck is secured. Inside the compound, Jung-seok and Min-young discover the truck, but their mission is complicated when they encounter Private Kim, who is in the midst of executing his plan to steal the cash. A tense standoff ensues as the three individuals realize the stakes and the potential consequences of their actions. In the midst of this chaos, Jung-seok learns that Chul-min is still alive, held captive within the compound. His mission quickly shifts from retrieving the truck to rescuing his friend. Driven by a sense of duty and guilt, Jung-seok fights his way through the compound, battling both zombies and Unit 631 soldiers. The fight is intense and brutal, with Jung-seok displaying the full extent of his military training as he takes down anyone who stands in his way. However, despite his best efforts, the mission ends in tragedy as Chul-min is shot and killed by Hwang in a final, cruel act of violence. The loss of his friend is a devastating blow to Jung-seok, adding to the weight of the guilt and regret he has been carrying. Min-young, understanding the gravity of the situation, helps Jung-seok escape the compound by driving the truck away, leaving behind the chaos. The sisters quickly join them, and together they engage in a high-stakes car chase, with both zombies and Unit 631 hot on their trail. The chase is harrowing, with the group narrowly avoiding death at every turn. The chase ends when Hwang and his driver are killed, finally eliminating the immediate threat. However, their troubles are far from over. As they reach the port, their path to safety is blocked by Captain Seo, who has managed to survive and is determined to take the truck and its contents for himself. In a desperate move, Seo rams his car into Jun's, taking her hostage and shooting Elder Kim as he tries to protect Eugene. Min-young is also shot in the leg by Seo, leaving her injured and vulnerable. Jung-seok, fueled by desperation and a sense of responsibility, tries to capture Seo, but the captain escapes with the truck and boards the ship that was supposed to be their ticket to safety. He is fatally shot. In his final moments, he realizes the futility of his actions and makes a final, redemptive act by reversing the truck into the ship's gate, preventing it from closing. This action allows zombies to flood the ship, killing everyone aboard. Seo's death, along with the destruction of the ship, closes off one of the last avenues of escape from the peninsula. The group is left grieving and exhausted, but as they stand at the port, they see a glimmer of hope in the form of a United Nations military transport helicopter. This helicopter represents their last chance to escape the horrors of the peninsula. Min-young, who has been a pillar of strength throughout their ordeal, tells Jung-seok to take her daughters and ensure their safety, reminding him of the favor he owes her for saving his life earlier. Jung-seok agrees, understanding the gravity of her request. As the helicopter prepares to land, Jung-seok and the sisters make a run for it. Min-young, despite her injuries, provides cover for them, holding off the zombies and ensuring that her daughters have a chance to escape. In a desperate move, she finds herself trapped inside a car, surrounded by zombies. As she prepares to end her life rather than be taken by the undead, Jung-seok is struck by a powerful memory, Chul-min's accusation that he did not do enough to save his family. Overcome with emotion and a renewed sense of determination, Jung-seok rushes to Min-young's aid, killing the zombies surrounding her and rescuing her from certain death. With the zombies momentarily held at bay, the four survivors, Jung-seok, Min-young, and her two daughters, board the helicopter. As the helicopter ascends into the sky, they leave behind the peninsula and the horrors that have plagued them for so long. By the way, I am Serge's Mike. I cried a lot while editing this video, so kindly say sorry by subscribing to the channel. Also, here are some interesting recaps I recommend you to watch.